वेलकम टू वी लर्न वर्चुअल लर्निंग नेटवर्क में आपका स्वागत है। सब्जेक्ट फिजिक्स, कोड नंबर 312, सेशन नंबर 3, लॉ ऑफ मोशन। गति के नियम हम इनको बोलते हैं। टॉपिक्स टू बी कवर्ड, इस सेशन के अंदर क्या क्या चीजें हम पढ़ने वाले हैं, क्या टॉपिक समझने वाले हैं। सबसे पहले कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ फोर्स, जो बल होता है, बल का कॉन्सेप्ट और इनर्शिया को बताना है। देन आपको पता है कि मोशंस के लॉ होते हैं, गति के नियम बोला जाता है हिंदी में उनको। तो गति के नियम, फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ मोशन यानी गति का पहला नियम, उसका कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मोमेंटम, इसके बाद गति का सेकंड नियम, इसके बाद पेयर ऑफ फोर्स मींस बराबर फोर्सेस जब होते हैं तो क्या होता है। देन थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन, मोशन का तीसरा नियम, और उसके बाद कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम को कैसे कंजर्व किया जाता है। उसके बाद फ्रिक्शन, घर्षण बोला जाता है इसको, द फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम्स टेक्निक्स, देन एलिमेंट्री आइडियाज ऑफ इनर्शियल एंड नॉन इनर्शियल फ्रेम्स, एंड एट लास्ट डू इट योरसेल्फ। तो इस तरह से हम डिस्कस करेंगे टॉपिक्स को। At first, concept of force and inertia. Stationary objects remain whenever they are placed until and unless any external force is applied on them. कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट्स है वो जब तक मूव नहीं करता जब तक कि उसके ऊपर कोई बाहरी फोर्स, बाहरी बल ना लगाया जाए। जैसे एक पत्थर होता है, वो जब तक जो है नहीं खिसकेगा जब तक हम उसको धक्का ना लगाएं। इसी तरह से गाड़ी होती है, जब तक उसमें हम इंजन स्टार्ट नहीं करते तब तक वो जो है वहीं के वहीं खड़ी होती है, या हम उसमें उसको पुश नहीं किया जाता तो वो जो है आगे नहीं चलता है। तो ऑल्सो एन ऑब्जेक्ट मूविंग विद कांस्टेंट वेलोसिटी हैज टू बी फोर्स्ड टू चेंज इट्स स्टेट ऑफ मोशन। और वेलोसिटी कांस्टेंट होने से, वेलोसिटी जो कांस्टेंट होती है उसको जो है फोर्स ही चेंज करता है, गतिमान बनाता है उसे। द प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट बाई विच इट्स रेसिस्ट ए चेंज इन इट्स स्टेट ऑफ रेस्ट ऑफ और ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म मोशंस इन ए स्ट्रेट लाइन इज कॉल्ड इनर्शिया। मास ऑफ बॉडी इज ए मेजर ऑफ इट्स इनर्शिया। एन ऑब्जेक्ट एट रेस्ट विद रेस्पेक्ट टू वन ऑब्जर्वर मे अपीयर टू बी इन मोशंस with respect to some other observers. Observation show that the change in velocity of an object can only be brought if a net force acts on it. इसके बाद forces are known to have different kind of effect. अलग अलग तरह के effect जो है force लगाता है। They may change the shape and the size of an object. बल जो है किसी भी वस्तु के साइज को यानी उसके आकार को और उसकी आकृति को, दोनों को चेंज कर सकता है। अ बैलून चेंजेस शेप डिपेंडिंग ऑन द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन इट। जैसे बैलून होता है, जब आप खरीद के लाते हो तो छोटा सा होता है, लेकिन अगर उसमें हवा भरी जाती है, हवा क्या है, फोर्स है, तो वो इतना बड़ा हो जाता है फूल करके, तो उसकी शेप बदल जाती है और उसकी प्रकृति भी बदल जाती है। फोर्सेज ऑल्सो इन्फ्लुएंस द मोशंस ऑफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट। और फोर्स जो है किसी भी वस्तु को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकता है, उसको गतिमान बना सकता है। A force can be set an object into motion or it can bring a moving objects to rest. A force can also change the directions or speed of the motion. और फोर्स जो है किसी भी चीज के, किसी भी वस्तु के डायरेक्शन को, उसकी दिशा परिवर्तन कर सकता है और उसकी स्पीड को भी परिवर्तित कर सकता है। फोर्सेज कैन रोटेट ए बॉडी अबाउट एन एक्सिस। और फोर्सेज जो है किसी भी पर्सन को सेम बॉडी पर रोटेट कर सकता है। Force and motion. Force is a vector quantity. Motion is characterized by its displacement, velocity, etc. A net non-zero force is required to change the state of body. For a body in motion, the velocity will change depending on the directions of the force acting on it. If a net force acts on a body in motion, its velocity will decrease in magnitude if the directions of the force and velocity are same. If the direction of net force acting on the body is opposite to the directions of motion, the magnitude of velocity will decrease. कि जब हम धक्का लगाते हैं आगे चलती हुई वस्तु में, तो जो वेलोसिटी है उसकी डिक्रीज हो जाती है, एकदम से पुश नहीं होता, ऐसा आपने देखा है. However, if a net force act on body in a direction perpendicular to its velocity, the magnitude of velocity of the body remain constant. Such a force changes only the direction of velocity of the body. Therefore, velocity of a body changes as long as a net force is acting on it. Now, first law of motion. Newton's first law of motion. न्यूटन जो गति के नियम है वो हमारे प्रसिद्ध साइंटिस्ट न्यूटन्स ने दिए हैं, इसलिए इनको हम न्यूटन्स लॉ ऑफ मोशन कहते हैं. which state that a body continue to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless it is acted upon by a net external force. न्यूटन के गति के पहले नियम के अनुसार उनका कहना था कि कोई भी वस्तु अगर स्टेट है, खड़ी हुई है, तो वो तब तक खड़ी रहेगी जब तक कि उस पर कोई फोर्स नहीं लगाया जाए, और कोई वस्तु तब तक चलती रहेगी, अगर वो स्ट्रेट लाइन में चल रही है तो तब तक चलती रहेगी जब तक उस पर कोई फोर्स न लगाया जाए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे आप साइकिल चलाते हैं और साइकिल चल रही होती है, जब ब्रेक लगाते हैं तभी वो रुकती है, अदरवाइज वो चलती रहती है. स्पीड कम होने का कारण फ्रिक्शन होता है, क्योंकि सामने से एक फोर्स अप्लाई होता है ऑटोमेटिकली, जो कि आपकी स्पीड को कम कर देता है. A person in a running car is at rest with respect to another person in the same car, but the same person is in motion with respect to a person standing on the road. For this reason, it is necessary to record measurement of changes in the position, velocity, acceleration and force with respect to the chosen frame of references. A reference frame relative to which a body in translatory motion has constant velocity. If no net external force act on it is known as an inertial frame of references. Mass and velocity of a body are important when we study the effect of force on the motion of the body. The product of mass m of a body and its velocity v is called its linear momentum p. Mathematically, we write p equal to mv. In SI unit, momentum is measured in kilogram meter per second. Momentum is a vector quantity. The directions of the momentum vector is the same as the direction of velocity vector. Momentum of an object therefore can change on account of change in its magnitude or direction or both. So example, Aman weight 60 kg and travel with velocity of 1 meter per second toward Manoj, who weight 40 kg and is moving with 1.5 meter per second toward Aman. Calculate their momentum. First solution: for Aman, momentum mass into velocity 60 kg multiply 1, which is equal to 60 kg meter per second. For Manoj, momentum equal to 40 kg multiply minus 1.5, क्योंकि वो जो है उसके 2 वाट चल रहा है, इसलिए minus 60 किलोग्राम meter per second. So note that the momenta of Aman and Manoj have the same magnitude, but they are in opposite direction. Now Newton's second law of motion gives a quantitative relations between these three physical quantity. It states that the rate of change of momentum of a body is directly proportional to the net force acting on the body. न्यूटन के सेकंड लॉ के अनुसार जितना फोर्स आप लगाते हैं किसी दूसरी बॉडी में, उतना ही फोर्स वो जो है बैक में आपके ऊपर लगाती है. जैसे आपने कभी बंदूक चलाई होगी, जब गोली चलाते हैं तो जितने वेग से, जितने मोमेंटम से गोली बाहर की तरफ निकलती है, उतने ही मोमेंटम से वो जो है बैक मारती है. बंदूक जो है आपको पीछे हटाती है. जैसे और एक एग्जांपल है कि यदि आप किसी में थप्पड़ मारते हैं तो जितनी चोट उसको लगेगी उतनी ही चोट आपको भी लगती है. तो चेंजेस इन द मोमेंटम ऑफ बॉडी टेक्स प्लेस इन द डायरेक्शंस ऑफ नेक्स्ट एक्सटर्नल फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन द बॉडी. This means that if delta p is the change in momentum of the body in time, delta t due to the net external force F, we can write F is proportionately to delta P upon delta T. So we can say that force equal to K delta P upon delta T, where K is the constant of the proportionately motion, force and energy. By expressing momentum as a product of mass and velocity, we can rewrite this result as F equal to Km delta V upon delta T, F equal to Kma as delta V upon delta T equal to A. The value of constant K depend upon the unit of M and A. If these units are chosen such that when the magnitude of M equal to 1 unit and A equal to 1 unit, the magnitude of F is also be 1 unit, then we can write 1 equal to K into 1 into 1, which is equal to K equal to 1. So using the result in equation 3.1, we get F equal to Ma. Example, a ball of mass 0.4 kg start rolling on the ground at 20 meter per second and comes to the stop after 10 seconds. Calculate the force which stopped the ball, assuming it to be constant in the magnitude throughoutly. So solution, given m equal to 0.4 kg, initial velocity v equal to 20 meter per second and final velocity v equal to 0 meter per second and t equal to 10 seconds. So F equal to ma, which is equal to mv minus u upon t. This implies by 0.4 kg multiply minus 20 meter per second divided by 10. So minus 0.8 kilogram meter per second square or newtons. Here negative sign shows that the force on the ball is in a direction opposite to that of its motion. Now force in pairs. It is the gravitational pull of the earth which allow an object to accelerate toward the earth. Does the object also pull the earth? When we push an almirah, does the almirah also push us? It has been observed that actions of two bodies on each other are always mutual. Here by actions and reactions we mean forces of interaction. So whenever two bodies interact, they exert force on each other. जैसा मैंने अभी बताया कि जितना आप फोर्स लगाते हैं उतना ही अपोजिट में फोर्स लगता है. One of them is called actions and the other is called reactions. Thus we can say that forces always exist in pair. तो हम कह सकते हैं कि फोर्स हमेशा पेयर्स में लगाया जाता है. On the basis of the study of the interaction between bodies, Newton's formulated third law of motion. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Here by action and reactions we means force. Thus when a book placed on table exerts some force on the table, the latter also exert a force of equal magnitude on the books in the upward direction. As shown in figures, it is important to note that F1 and F2 are acting on different bodies and therefore they do not cancel out. According to Newton's third law, when two objects interact, the force exerted by one object on the other is equal in magnitude in opposite in direction to the force exerted by the latter object on the former. Like this one, a book placed on the table exerts a force F equal to its weight milligram on the table, while the table exerts a force F2 on the books. Now impulse. The effect of the force applied for the short durations is called impulse. Impulse is defined as the product of force F and the time durations delta t for which of the force is applied. So impulse equal to F into delta t. If the initial and final velocity of body acted upon by the force F are u and v respectively, then we can write that is impulse is equal to change in linear momentum. So impulse equal to mv minus mu divided by delta t into delta t. So mu minus mv, which is equal to pf minus pfi, v equal to delta p. Impulse is a vector quantity and its SI unit is kilogram meter per second. Generally, conservations of momentum. Generally, a number of bodies interacting with each other are said to be forming a system. If the bodies in a system do not interact with the bodies outside the system is said to be a closed system or an isolated system. In an isolated systems, the vector sum of the momenta of bodies remain constant. This is called a law of conservation of momenta. So the total momenta of the body in an isolated system remains unchanged, but the momentum of the individual body may change in magnitude alone or direction alone or both. Conservation of momentum. Conservation of momentum as a consequence of Newton's law. According to Newton's second law of the motion, the changes in the momentum delta p of a body when a force F act on it for time delta t is delta p equal to F into delta t. This result implies that if no force act on the body, the changes in momentum of the body will be zero. That is, the momentum of the body will remain unchanged. This argument can be extended to a system of bodies as well. So Newton's third law can also be used to arrive at the same result. Consider an isolated system of two bodies A and B which interact with each other for a time delta t. If FAB and FB are the forces which they exert on each other, they can then, in accordance with the Newton's third law, FAB equal to minus FBA, or delta PA upon delta T equal to minus delta PB upon delta T. So, or delta PA plus delta PB equal to 0, or delta P total equal to 0, or delta P total equal to constant. That is that there is no change in the momentum of the system. In other words, the momentum of the system is conserved. A few illustrations of the conservation of momentum. Recoil of a gun, जैसा मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया था. And now when a bullet is fired from a gun, the gun recoils. The velocity v2 of the recoil of the gun can be found by using the law of conservation of momentum. Let m be the mass of the bullet being fired from a gun of mass m. If v1 is the velocity of the bullet, then momentum will be said to be conserved if the velocity v2 of the gun is given by mv1 plus mv2 equal to 0, or mv1 equal to mv2 minus mv2. So v2 equal to minus m upon capital M divided by multiply by v1. Here negative sign showed that v2 is in directions opposite to v1. Since m less than capital M, the recoil velocity of the gun will be considerably smaller than the velocity of the blades. And now collision. In a collision, we may regard the colliding bodies as forming a system. In the absence of any external force on the colliding bodies, such as the force of frictions, the system can be considered to be the isolated system. The forces of interaction between the colliding bodies will not change the total momentum of the colliding bodies. Collision of the striker with the coin of the carom, or collision between the billiard balls may be quite interactive for the study of collision between the elastic bodies. Then explosion of a bomb. A bomb explodes into fragment with the release of the huge energy. Consider a bomb at rest initially which explodes into two fragments A and B. As the momentum of the bomb was 0 before the explosion, the total momentum of the two fragments formed will also be 0 after the explosion. For this reason, the two fragments will fly off in the opposite directions if the mass of the two fragments are equal. The velocity of the two fragments will also be equal in magnitude. Then friction. Force of friction is a contact force and always act along the surface in a direction opposite to that of the motion of the body. It is commonly known that friction is caused by roughness of the surface in contact. Friction opposes the motion of the object, causes wear and tear, and is responsible for loss of mechanical energy, but then it is only due to frictions that we are able to walk, drive vehicles and stop moving vehicles. Now static and kinetic friction. Let some external force F be applied on the block. Initially block does not move. This is possible only if some other force is acting on the block. The force is called the force of static frictions and is represented by symbol Fs. As Fext is increased, Fs also increases and remains equal to F exit in the magnitude until it reaches the critical value Fs maximum. Friction: when F is increased further, the block starts to slide and is then subject to kinetic friction. It is common experience that the force needed to set an object in motion is larger than the force needed to keep it moving at constant velocity. For this reason, the maximum value of static frictions Fs between a pair of surfaces in the contact will be larger than the force of kinetic frictions F between them. For a given pair of surfaces in contact, you may like to know the factors on which Fs and Fk depend. It is an experimental fact that Fs is directly proportional to the normal force Fn. So Fs maximum proportional to Fn or Fs maximum proportional to mu s Fn, where mu s is called the coefficient of the static friction. It has also been experimentally found that maximum force of static frictions between a pair of surface is dependent of the area of conduct. So similarly we can write F equal to mu k Fn, where mu k is the coefficient of kinetic friction. In general, mu s greater than mu k. Moreover, coefficient mu s and mu k are not really constant for the pair of surfaces, and such as wood on the wood or rubber on concrete, etc. Value of mu s and mu k for given pairs of the material depend on the roughness of the surfaces, their cleanliness, temperature, humidity, etc. So friction example: a 2 kg block is resting on horizontal surface. The coefficient of static frictions between the surface and contact is 0.25. Calculate the maximum magnitude of the force of static frictions between the surfaces in contact. Solution: here m equal to 2 kg and mu equal to 0.25 from equation 3.6. We recall that Fs maximum equal to mu s Fn, mu s mg equal to 0.25 multiply 2 kg multiply 9.8 meter per second square. This implies by 4.9 newtons. So rolling friction: the motions of a wheel is different from the sliding motion. It is a rolling motion. The frictions in the case of rolling motion is known as rolling friction. Methods of reducing friction: ball bearing are used in machines to reduce friction. Use of lubricants such as grease or oil between the surface in contact reduces friction. Flow of compressed and purified air between the surface in contact also reduce friction. The free body diagram technique: applications of Newton's law to solve the problems and mechanism become easier by use of the free body diagram techniques. A diagram which shows all the forces acting on a body in a given situation is called a free body diagram. The procedure to draw a free body diagram is described below. Draw a simple neat diagram of the system as per the given description. Then isolate the object of interest, and this object will be called the free body. Now consider all external force acting on the free body and mark them by arrow touching the free body with their line of the actions clearly represented. Now apply Newton's second law, F equal to ma. Elementary ideas of inertial and non-inertial frames. To study motions in one dimension, a reference point is enough, but when it comes to motion in 2 and 3 dimensions, we have to use set of the reference line to specify the positions of a point in space. This set of line is called frame of reference. So a frame of reference is fixed with the observer to describe motion if the frame is stationary or moving with a constant velocity with respect to the object under study. Then in this frame, law of inertia hold good. Therefore such frames are called inertial frames. On the other hand, if the observer's frame is accelerating, then we call it non-inertia frame. For the motion of a body of mass m in a non-inertial frame having acceleration a, we may apply second law of motion by involving a pseudo force ma in a rotating body. This force is called centrifugal force. Now do it yourself. Question number 1, what is inertia? Question number 2, a ball of mass 0.2 kg falls through air with an acceleration of 6 meter per second square. Calculate the air drag on the ball. Second, explain the Newton's law, first law of motion. And next one is what are the different types of frictions. And last question is how can we reduce friction. And that's it from session number 3. Thank you.